So typically I've noticed that, especially in the bigger areas we've been living, there's pretty much a running club in almost every city that we've been to. So right off the bat, I kind of either Google that. Some of them I found on Instagram. And then this one here, we actually found, we were just walking the dogs around the park our first week here, and I saw a group of people, and I'm like, I guarantee that's a running club. And Tori says, I don't know. And I'm like, let me just go ask them. And I did, and it was. So that's how we found out about that one.
It was a good move. I was being like super shy. I'm like, I don't know. It could just be like a group of friends. I was just feeling awkward, and I'm glad he did, because I've made some great friends through that.
Also with like the meetup.com, I've used a couple times, and that's been good. I found a pickup soccer league through that I was interested in, but I got hurt at the first first game, but that's fine. I'm
Weekend warrior.
Yeah. And then other than that, I'm also a diehard Arsenal fan, which is an English soccer team, and they have support clubs all over the country. So usually if I'm in somewhere that's like a larger city, I'll look it up, and Denver has the Denver Gunners, so that I started going to the Celtic on Market Street here in Denver, which is an official Arsenal bar, and I went there by myself the first game, and I met another kid that was there by himself who had just moved here from Georgia, and instantly became friends with him, and he's done a couple of 14er hikes with us and stuff like that. So just finding things that I'm interested in and just going and hoping that someone else is there and outgoing, and usually I'll just strike up a conversation and it works out.
Yeah, and also I'm on Facebook. Devin is not, but the travel therapy Facebook pages, and I like those because sometimes people will just post like, "Hey, I'm in Denver. Anybody else?" And people will comment below. And Instagram too. We have our own travel PT Instagram, and one of the coolest things about that is, we've been on our way to a state. Like, for example, we were on our way to Washington from California, so I was sharing photos on the way, road trip stuff, and a girl saw it, and she messaged me, and she said, "Oh, I'm in that same town that you guys are on your way to." And, it is funny, travelers, we're in a place kind of a short amount of time, so it's like, okay, well, we're going to be friends or not, so let's see what happens. So we, hung out with her and her husband the first weekend we got there, and that was over a year ago, and we keep in touch with them all the time, and now they've gone and worked travel assignments that we've had, and they're some of the best friends we've made so far traveling. So, sometimes it seems kind of funny and almost rushed, because you're like, oh, you're here, I'm here, let's hang out this weekend. And then we met them at a brewery, and the next day we went to a national park with them and a concert that night. So it was like a whirlwind friendship, and we wound up getting really close with those guys.
And then there's another set of friends that we made that we had talked to through the travel Instagram that we had never crossed paths with. They were always on the opposite. Seems like they were literally always on the opposite side of the country as us. But when we took the Cape Cod job, the kid mentioned that his parents owned a home right in Woods Hole, which is where the ferry takes off to go to Martha's Vineyard. And his parents lived right by the ferry. And he goes, if you need a spot to park, just park at my parents' house. So, because there's no parking in Woods Hole, if anyone's familiar with the Cape, to get out to the island. So I was like, oh, this is a great hookup. So I would park at his parents' house and take the ferry every day. So I started talking to his parents because my car was in their driveway when I would get off of work. And they're like, so how do you know Drew and Jess? And I'm like, I actually never met them. I only met them through social media. But then they ended up taking a job while we were still there. And so I felt like I already knew their family. And then we became very close with them. And now we see them from time to time as well and keep in touch outside of
oh my gosh, that's
setting.
so cool.